Sonic Rivals, the characters, not the games. With Sonic X Shadow Generations coming out fairly soon, I feel like more people are gonna just answer the question to who Sonic's rival is, similar to what Mario's equivalent to Super Sonic is. Oh yeah, it's a superstar. Except with this, they'd be like, oh yeah, it's Shadow. And then just end the conversation there. But hold on, okay? There's a lot more options. I'm not trying to say I dislike Shadow or nothing. I actually really do like Shadow. But first we gotta define what a rival is. So, let's go. What exactly do we define a rival as? Well, after looking it up, one who attempts to equal or surpass another, or who pursues the same object as another. A competitor. Another definition is one that equals or almost equals another in a particular respect. So, let's look at our boy Shadow then, shall we? Shadow is kind of Sonic's mirror in terms of ability. Pretty much everything Sonic can do, Shadow can do as well. And that includes going super, matching his speed, being cool, pretty much everything. But while Shadow has the second definition pretty much unlocked, he doesn't really have much for the first definition. Shadow doesn't really try to equal or surpass Sonic anymore. In Sonic Adventure 2, where he's introduced, absolutely he's trying to. But they're not really competing for anything. I think that's the big thing for rivals here. The word compete. What are they really competing for? What are they both trying to strive for? You could say they're both kind of trying to strive for the title of the ultimate life form. Not really though, because I feel like Shadow sort of just gave that title to Sonic. And I also feel like Sonic doesn't care very much. I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like these guys compete enough to really say that they have a real strong rivalry. They're equals in abilities, but outside of that, I don't know. I'll give it to you though, he does have very nice imagery, Shadow and Sonic together. The opposing color schemes, both hedgehogs, it's neat. One thing he has though that I actually really like is the fact that in the 4Kids era, they had the same voice actor, Jason Griffith. Something that I always like about rivals is sort of their taijutsu yin and yang sort of vibe that some of them have. They're opposing, they're opposites, they're different, but still have a little bit of each other in the other. And I think having the same voice actor kind of helps amplify that, Unfortunately, we don't have that sort of, imagery anymore, but I think it's still pretty neat to have that during the 4Kids era. But they're not really fighting for the same thing like that first definition. So, let's look for someone that's actively trying to compete. What about Metal Sonic? Metal Sonic, I think most people would say, is Sonic's first ever rival. He's been there since Sonic CD, so he's been around. And, honestly, I kind of like Metal Sonic as a rival. Sonic series has had, I don't want to say subtle, but this sort of always present theme of nature versus robots. Eggman obviously being on Team Robot, and then Sonic and the crew being on Team Nature. Metal Sonic definitely embodies that sort of thing, with Sonic obviously being the organic side, and Metal being the robotic side. He definitely does have a second definition on lock though, because he's trying to be the one true Sonic, And when they race, they can get down to the real fight. The last Sonic standing will be the winner. See, Metal thinks this world isn't big enough for the both of them, one of them has to go. And Sonic, well, he agrees. So they race it out, and I feel like that honestly is a really cool thing that has to be there for a Sonic rival. I mean, just look at the scene from Sonic Colors Ultimate Shorts.
Well, that's a new trick and a new low.
You don't have time for this, Sonic. The other wisps will be drained in only a few minutes.
It's okay, Tails. He's not looking for a fight, are you? You're looking for a race. Alright then, let's race!
See, man, that's so cool, bro. Obviously, Sonic's rival will be looking for a race. Sonic is all about speed, bro. He's not looking for just a fight. No, he's not Goku. He's looking for a race. Unfortunately, though, as much as I do think Metal does actively want to beat Sonic, independent of working for Eggman, he still does feel like an Eggman pawn a lot of the time. Obviously, we have things like Heroes, where he's very independent of Eggman and ended up betraying him. But nowadays, it feels a lot more like Metal is just doing whatever Eggman says, and that just so happens to align with his goals of trying to beat Sonic. Metal wants to fight Sonic, that's what he wants to do, but outside of that, what really does he care about? I mean, he's a little too similar to Sonic, you know? He doesn't really have that opposingness that Taijutsu would have. He's just a copy with obviously a robotic flair to it, but I mean, Shadow's a copy of Sonic, right? Or at least he's theorized to be, but more specifically Super Sonic, and I don't know, he never really felt like he was just straight a copy in terms of the design. But Metal definitely feels more that way, and I think that combined with the fact that he is an Eggman robot makes it feel a little less like a rival to me, especially nowadays. Maybe in Sonic Heroes, but I don't think that a rival and an antagonist can really be the same. Because an antagonist and a rival, I do think need to be different. A rival isn't on the antagonist side. A rival is just an opposing side to the hero. So alright, if we need someone who has a little bit more originality, because Metal is too much of a copy, then how about someone that's rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather? I think we can call him Knuckles, and unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. He'd rather flex his muscles. Knuckles has a lot going on. After Metal, he was also one of the first Sonic rivals. And I mean, come on, bro, look at their names together, Sonic and Knuckles. We totally gotta add extra points for if their name just fits right on with Sonic's name. Sonic and Knuckles, like, oh, that sounds good. But anyways, I like Knuckles. He definitely takes that sort of opposing thing for a rival and runs with it. We got Sonic and his nice blue, while Knuckles has red. Sonic is speed, Knuckles is strength. Knuckles isn't a copy of Sonic at all. He has his own original spunk. He's his own guy. But he is trying to defeat and best Sonic. One issue with Knuckles though. I love him as a character. But as a rival, the only reason he's opposing to Sonic, at least in Sonic 3, and even Sonic Adventure after that, is because of Eggman's meddling. Eggman tricked Sonic into thinking that he's after the Master Emerald. Without Eggman's meddling, Knuckles wouldn't have attacked or fought Sonic. You'd really call him a rival if they wouldn't have fought / competed without the antagonist's meddling. Like, I don't know, man. The rival should want to fight and compete. Have some fun and thrill of just competing with their rival. I feel like that's just a fun thing, right? Like in Pokemon, you know? You want to be able to fight your rival. It's not that you're trying to destroy him and destroy their hopes and dreams. You know, just want to have a battle with him. I think it's like that. And I don't really think that Knuckles does that, because he's too focused on his duty of protecting the Master Emerald. And I mean, they're like mad good friends. Which I'm not trying to say that you can't be friends with the rival. In fact, I think some of the best rivals are the ones that you can also be friends with, but he's never really opposing Sonic, and they never really butt heads. I mean, they'll definitely razz each other, but it's more just how you would do so with your friends, you know? Just casually poke fun and insult each other every now and then, but never really on opposing sides, never really upset, never really fighting. And I love that as a character, but as a rival, I'm not really sure that works. Knuckles is too caught up in his echidna duties, so let's look at someone who's not an echidna. Maybe another Hedgehog? What about Silver? I mean, he's from Sonic Rivals, and Sonic Rivals is all about racing. I love when Sonic Rivals race each other. I mean, fighting's cool and all, don't get it twisted, but come on, it's Sonic. You gotta race Sonic. Unfortunately, I haven't played Sonic Rivals, so I don't know about this game, but I do know about Silver in 06, and in 06, no, they're not rivals. They're absolutely not rivals. Once again, the only reason Silver attacks Sonic is because of Mephilis's meddling. Well, Silver might not be a rival. I think we can look over to his left. Blaze the Cat. So, Blaze the Cat, right? In Sonic 06, Blaze and Sonic don't really interact. In Sonic Rush, Blaze's what I believe canon game, Blaze does in fact talk to Sonic with the severe lack of silver, and there's a lot of similarities between Blaze and Sonic. They both fight their Eggmans, Blaze can keep up with Sonic's speed, and they both go super. But in terms of their opposingness, there's something I really like here. Sonic has always had to sort of win the scene. Whenever Sonic runs around, there's always that gust of wind that follows. And in Sonic Heroes, he even has that sort of wind attack, Sonic Wind. And he's even the Knight of the Wind. Sonic has always had his wind theme. He's absolutely an airbender. And Blaze, I mean, based on her name, she's the firebender. She has pyrokinetic abilities. We all know how good a firebender and an airbender look together. I mean, come on, bro, that's a perfect rivalry right there. But outside of the wind and fire thing, Blaze is also a princess, and Sonic is anything but a prince. We can kind of see Sonic's reaction to being treated as royalty, which, you know...
Have you forgotten who I am? I am the sacred sword Caliburn. I am the one who decides who is worthy of the crown.
So then... You?
You are the one and true King Arthur?
Me? Huh? Hey, cut that out!
Yeah, he's clearly not very comfortable with it. Sonic would not want to be royalty. And I honestly think that's really good for a rival. Both Blaze and Sonic want to help people, but they do it in different ways. Sonic just runs around actively helping people, while Blaze is a princess. And I mean, to be fair, Blaze does do her fair amount of running around, punching and kicking. This is a platformer video game series, so you kind of have to do some more active stuff here. But still, it's pretty neat how different they are. But they both want to help people. You guys see what I'm trying to say here? But, unfortunately, there's one thing that I have to do that kind of knocks Blaze off the platform.
Have a nice ball, you stupid bitch.
Blaze and Sonic, once again, never compete. They never fight each other in this series. Okay, well, that's not true. They do fight each other, and this time it's not directly due to the antagonist meddling or nothing. It's not like I tricked Blaze and thinking Sonic's the bad guy or nothing. Sonic just wanted to talk things out, but Blaze wasn't willing to, just saying that to get out of his way. And I'm just saying, bro, I don't think it really counts as a proper competition, rival battle, blah, 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 blah. If the whole thing you're trying to get is just to get the guy to leave, she was just trying to get him out of her way. So, I don't really know if that counts, because as soon as that little fight's over, Blaze is like, I guess we chill, we homies now. So, man, every single time we try to find a decent rival, I feel like we're thwarted by the one thing, and that's the fact that the rival isn't competing with them. They're either not on opposing sides, or if they are, it's because of the antagonist tricking them. And I mean, that does make sense, you know, like, at the end of the day, in this series, Sonic is the hero. He's always usually on the side you'd probably want to be on. But there is a character that I found in the Sonic series that absolutely will oppose and compete with Sonic while still being his ally and on his side. Jet the Hawk. Jet the Hawk will compete anytime, anywhere with Sonic in the extreme sports racing. Racing? I think we're already on our way to having a winner here. Jet is literally just like Sonic. Remember what I said earlier about the 4Kids era? How they have the sort of taijutsu yin and yang vibe with the voice actors? Well, that was absolutely true during the 4Kids era with Jet. Once again, not true anymore, but still pretty neat. Jet loves speed, Sonic loves speed. Jet's cocky, Sonic's cocky. And Jet matches his skill, and Sonic matches his skill. That's pretty awesome. Jet has the opposing color of green, Sonic's blue, and unfortunately there is no fire theme. I think it would have been really cool if they made him like a phoenix. Holy shit, that sounds awesome. But he also has the wind theme just like Sonic, being a bird, which I think is okay. I mean, Jet feels like he has more of a list of similarities with Sonic instead of opposingness, but he does something like Blaze does, where he's very similar to Sonic, but in a different way. He also has a wind theme, but in a very different way to Sonic. So I think Jet's pretty neat, right? The thing is, though, one thing that I feel like makes a rival really nice is that they always want to compete with Sonic in everything, all the time. And we all know as soon as Sonic and Jet step off that board, Jet has absolutely no chance. Sonic will smoke him. So, who's someone that'll compete in every single event? Every single Olympic event? Mario and Sonic, boy! You thought I wasn't gonna mention Mario and Sonic, bro? Are you for real, bro? What, you thought this was gonna be about just Sonic characters? Oh, no. Mario and Sonic's the original, the greatest rivalry of all time, okay, bro? Let me talk to you real quick, alright? Mario and Sonic. So obviously, Shadow's pretty iconic rival for Sonic, right? Mario beats that Shadow bullshit out the water, bro. Mario's more iconic than you can ever imagine. This rivalry is more iconic than you can ever imagine. And he's an OG like metal, bro. He's been sitting like as a rival for Sonic since the day Sonic came out, bro. He's got the red opposing color scheme like Knuckles and the strength of Knuckles lifting castles, bro. People will be arguing on who'd win in a fight forever, and it's great. Alright, he's got the fire powers of Blaze too. Like, Mario has this flame theme, and like I said earlier, Sonic has the wind theme, so they just oppose each other so good, bro. They're just nice opposing sides, and they're also not straight up villains. Neither one of these guys are villains, but they're still opposing sides, and bro, their rivalry goes in everything. Mario's got a kart racer, Sonic's got a kart racer. Platformer. They got a rivalry in literally everything. And whenever Sonic puts out a bad game, you know people are gonna be like, see, Mario's not doing this. Which is great, because you're always getting compared to your rival, and it's probably bad for Sonic's self-esteem. And Mario and Sonic's rivalry goes up to their companies, bro, with Nintendo and Sega's rivalry. They're always dunking on each other back in the day in the 90s. SNES versus Genesis, it was peak. Sonic has a nice drip on the ground, but lazy drip on the top. Mario has a nice drip on the top, lazy drip on the ground. They're competing in every single event ever. Their rivalry is legendary. It's god status. It is amazing in every way. And Mario is Sonic's true rival. Remember, you're trying your best, give yourself credit, and I'll see you all around. Peace.